I think that that equipment that they sent up, I think it went somewhere. I don't know if it went to the moon. Even if the moon is in the even if the moon is in the card pool, it's in a spread. It comes out in a spread, but it
Right.
doesn't necessarily literally mean they went to the moon. Even though the chariot is a traveler, and you did get a yes, but the moon in tarot means that there's something off. There's something that's hidden. There's something that's not being portrayed as it is.
One.
Try not to- Hello, and welcome back to our channel, The Three of Pentacles. We are three tarot card readers that like to read on world events and everyday things and things that make us go, hmm. And I have my woo sisters, my sisters of the woo, which is Lynn and Kyla,
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everyone.
and my name is Barbara. And we just want to let everybody know that we're reading on for entertainment purposes only. We also like to thank you all for liking, sharing, and subscribing. It's always hard for me to say all of those three words all together, but I got it done. And thanks to my third eye that I have here tonight.
She's really
So
glowing. Mhm.
really glowing. Thank you. Thank you. And yeah, for entertainment purposes only. In this video, we're going to be reading on the moon landing. Okay, not the original moon landing. So there's something called the Firefly's Blue Ghost Lander, and it successfully touches down on the moon, and that happened yesterday. It's an unscrewed, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, uncrewed. I'm just stuff is going through my mind. I'm sorry. Uncrewed spacecraft developed in the United States. It has successfully soft landed on the moon, making Texas-based Firefly Aerospace only the second private sector company ever to complete such a feat. So they have sent this 6.5 foot tall, 2 meter tall blue ghost lunar lander to the moon, and it looks like it landed around 2:30 a.m. Central Time on Sunday. There's a lot going on about the moon. Some people think that we've had men up on the moon before. Some people don't think we have men up on the moon before. Some people think that this firefly has gone up to the moon, and some people don't think it has. Because you got to question everything these days, right, lady?
Yeah, absolutely.
Mhm. And there's so much about the last moon landing that people have investigated, and
Yeah.
seems to be a little bit strange. So, some things around that. So it's natural that we would want to question this one as well. Yeah, with the last moon landing, we had a lot of people investigate the details surrounding it, and including, I think there was someone who said, or there was an interview with someone who was like a participant of that whole thing who said something differently before he died. Am I correct?
I know that people have tried to get God, I can't even remember the astronauts' names anymore because I just don't even take credit to them anymore. They've tried to get them to actually like put their hand on the Bible and swear that
Mhm.
they actually landed on the moon and put their feet on the
Right.
moon,
Oh
and then
yeah, was
others
it
have been
Armstrong?
secret. Thank you, Neil Armstrong. And others have
Yeah.
secretly, like Neil Armstrong, they've recorded him supposedly talking to someone else like, oh, we never really landed on the moon.
Right.
If you go to Jay Widener, he talks about Stanley Kubrick, and he thinks that Stanley Kubrick was actually the one that was responsible for videoing the so-called moon landing. There's
Mhm.
all kinds of crazy things about the shadowing.
Right.
First of all, we didn't have cameras back then. How is he swinging a golf ball on the moon?
Right. So it was really, there's
How is he able
some
to put
fishy
that
stuff.
ball down on a tee and hit?
Yes.
Yep. And there's one called the pilot Edwin Buzz Aldrin. I always
Buzz
forget his name, but
Aldrin.
Buzz
Buzz is
Aldrin.
the one. I think Buzz is the one that people have been trying to get because I think Neil Armstrong passed away a while ago. Buzz is, I
Yeah,
think,
back in
may still be
2012.
alive. Yeah.
And Buzz Armstrong, I think he married this really nice, beautiful young girl a few years ago. But yeah, he punched somebody out, I think, one time
I
asking
think
him
so
about the
too.
moon landing,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm. I
And
think
there was
so.
a child that asked him about the moon landing too, and he said something a little dodgy. So it's kind of like, did they really go to the moon? I
They
mean,
went to the moon
really?
as much as we did. Look.
we did go to the moon. Look
We
at us.
went
We're
to the
there.
moon.
And then there's also been talk about them not being able to replicate what was done before.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, to me, this was strange because I didn't even know this was happening. And then all of a sudden, oh, we've done it again.
I had no idea either. All of a sudden, everybody's talking the moon landing. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
I guess that's what
And
happens when you turn the black box off for 3 years. You don't know
True.
what's going on.
Yeah.
and another thing, the first time that they supposedly went to the moon, and maybe they did, but they went to the moon, right? How are you gonna? We have this radiation around the Earth called the Van Allen belt. I don't know if you can see that, but you see that thing? See that those rays?
Mm-hmm.
The Van Allen belt. And that's a lot of radiation. So how is anybody going to get through any radiation that's around the belt? Next thing you know, they're going to start saying, "Oh no, we made a mistake. We don't have radiation around the Earth."
Yeah. They're
So
always changing the stories, aren't they?
yeah.
There you
Yeah.
go. There you go, Barbara.
Global warming
No,
type
there it
thing.
is. Thank you, Lynn.
Yeah, you got it.
So that's the Earth. That's on its magnetic axis. Then you have the inner radiation belt, which is the red part, and then the outer radiation belt. And then you have the rotational axis of course, the way the world turns. So how are you going to put astronauts, people with flesh and blood, through a radiation belt and have them come back in one piece? How are we going to do that? Nobody ever answered that.
Mm-mm.
So questions, people. Get your magnifying glass out there and put on your thinking cap. Just start thinking and try to think as logically as possible.
Okay, Kyla, you want to start pulling? What do we
Okay.
want to do?
Which
A
one are we
general
pulling
poll
on?
first to see, was it real? Did it happen? What do we want to do? What
The
do we
first
want to
one or
ask?
this one?
Yeah.
This
The
one.
first,
No, we're talking about the firefly.
okay.
We'll have to do a whole
Okay.
different video if we want to do the first one.
Right.
All right.
There's so much
All right.
information out there for
Yeah,
people to
that's
deep
going to
dive.
be a long video.
We'll do 2 clarifiers about the
Okay.
first one.
Yeah, we could.
I'll do it.
So,
I'll do it myself.
yeah.
So while she's doing that, I'm gonna just shuffle my cards here and ask with
What?
a 3 card pull if we've been to the moon that very first time
Okay.
when we all celebrated. And I'll put them to the side. I'll wait until she reads hers.
When I was watching the video, and it was just like, it was so crazy because it was all CGI. It's like, come on, people. And half these pictures all look like
Yeah.
CGI too.
Yes, yes. And
I mean,
everybody's intensely
usually they
watching.
seem to make a much better attempt to make the CGI look so real, and it's, I don't know, is it another com just to throw it in our face and go, look what we've been doing to you, for most of us, all our freaking lives, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, and just to think the work that they put in just to kind of make it look real,
Yeah.
if it like you said, I'm doing a 3 card pull to see if it was real or not, if we
Okay.
really been to the moon. But the work that they put in and the technology that they had to have back then. But now when we look at it right now, it looks like one of those 1962 Godzilla movies that, you can see that it's all fake.
Hey,
Somebody even
we're
said they saw a
probably gonna find
Coca-Cola
out
can.
that Godzilla was real. I bet you he was.
Let's do a 3 card pull on it. All right, let's see what we got.
Oh.
All right.
Fighting.
You did get the moon card about the moon, though.
We
Yeah.
did get the moon card.
So how did you ask the question?
I asked, is there truth and integrity to how they're portraying this new moon landing that we had yesterday?
Usually when you get the moon, and I know we're talking about the moon, is very specific. When you
Mhm.
get the moon, I always tell everybody, look at that picture. Okay, you see the moon, you see dogs barking. When you hear dogs barking, there's something there. And it could be a squirrel, it could be somebody trying to hurt you, or it could be anything. But dogs are made to bark about something that they're not unclear about. So with that, what would you say, Kyla?
Well, the first one that struck me is in the environment, the Ten of Cups. So this card, where it's placed, is what does it appear to be, or what do they want it to look like? And with the Ten of Cups here, and with the moon just below, and with the Seven of Wands even in the past, which is sort of like a unique card. It's a card that says It's like this guy is fending off these wands, and this card almost says that it's something more unique than what is being portrayed happened in the past, right? And with the Ten of Cups, it's usually a facade card. Like this is how they want it to look, but it's not exactly as what is being shown with the Moon card just below. It's interesting that we have some, what I would say, not bad cards around this. Card number one, we have a celebration. We have the Ace of Wands, which is like a call to action card. It's an inspiration. It's like if, well, this is definitely what they want to show, that, hey, we have a cause to celebrate. We did something, we accomplished something new. So this is what they want to show. And when I did ask about truth and integrity, and we have the Ten of Pentacles and we have the Chariot just below. This is, we got to look at this a little bit more. In the clarifiers, we have the Three of Wands going off into new territory, a lot of hard work, something coming in at the last minute. And we have the Five of Pentacles underneath the deck. There's something more to this story.
I think that equipment that they sent up, I think it went somewhere. But I don't know if it went to the moon. Even if the moon is in the card pull, it's in a spread. It comes out in a spread, but it doesn't necessarily literally mean they went to the moon. Even though the Chariot is a traveler, and you did get a yes. But the moon in tarot means that there's something off. There's something that's hidden. There's something that's not being portrayed as it is, as it's supposed to be portrayed. So I think they traveled somewhere as the Chariot takes them somewhere. And yes, they did get there. However, with the Ten of Cups, the Ten of Cups lets us know, yeah, it's kind of like, yeah, we want it to look like it.
Yeah, it's not.
We want it to look like that, but it really isn't. That's the Ten of Cups for me. So they did arrive somewhere. However, and they want the people to celebrate. However, but I don't. And they did go somewhere. So the Three of Wands at the top, but I don't think they actually went to the moon. What we think we know is the moon. What do you say, Lynn?
I don't. Yeah, they might have launched something. Yeah, but you're right. They didn't go to the moon. That's your Ten of Cups. Yes, they were celebrating. I mean, that's the whole, all them people watching and seeing them party and celebrating. I'm like going, okay, are they paid actors or are they just stupid? That's honestly.
Let me pull another two while you're.
This was the fake.
That.
I mean, Kaila, you wanna? What do we want to ask? Was something actually launched? Let's see. Let's make sure. It looks like something probably was launched.
We have the King of Swords, the Eight of Swords, and the Two of Swords. So only swords. So the first one being the King of Swords says some kind of truth to that, but something we're not seeing with the Eight of Swords. And then the Two of Swords is, again, something we're not seeing. It's actually a whole third other option.
Two blindfolded women. So, yeah.
That's a psychological. When you see blindfolded people in tarot, it has to do with thoughts and words, especially the psychology. So it could have been one of those like black ops or what do they call it? Psyop. Exactly. A psyop. So there's truth to it, but there's a certain type of psyop. And when she said, were they paid actors, I pulled a couple of cards if they're paid actors, and I got this.
Put it closer to you.
And I got this.
Put it closer to you. Yes. So they were paid actors.
I got a yes. Yeah. A yes.
Yeah. You got
and the World card is a big yes. That's a major arcana. So it was like kind of like a psyop type thing. Paid actors.
Those crisis actors that we always see them advertised for all their psyops.
So it looks like they actually sent something up and it did land somewhere, but it didn't land on the moon as we know the moon when we look up in the sky. And then while go ahead.
No. Go ahead and do your 3-card pull for the original moon landing, right?
I did it. And I asked if we really went to the moon that first time when they said it. So I get these 3 cards.
Keep them next to you.
I get a soft yes.
Mm-hmm.
I get the Temperance card. Is that real? And I get the Four of
Yeah, something
Swords.
hidden.
So I get a soft yes, not a soft yes doesn't mean yes. It
No,
means that they went up
there's
somewhere.
more
They
to
went
it.
up
Yeah.
and they went probably high somewhere where we think we see angels and that
Well, I
type of
mean,
thing.
if you go back to Bruce Seasall stuff, he'd been monitoring the moon forever. And there's stuff up there. I mean, there's so much on the moon that we just don't know. Is
Mhm.
it natural? Was it brought here? I mean, it goes
Yeah,
so deep down the
there's
rabbit
so many
hole.
theories about what
Yeah.
happens up there. Like
Yeah.
it's a place people go and they do stuff, but what we see and what we know as the moon is quite likely not
Yeah.
what it is.
Right.
Exactly.
So
And
that
and
could be
those
the soft
those
yes. They
yeah,
have
those
gone
dogs
there,
barking, there's those two pillars which could represent a portal. Like,
right?
so maybe they weren't really going through the sky to get to the moon as much as it was a portal opening.
And it could also
Mhm.
be like how you ask the question. So
Yes.
your question sometimes has to be so specific. So in
Yeah.
the past, did they actually go to the moon? Yes, they have. But not the soft yes could be not as they portrayed it, not when they showed it
Right.
to you, you know,
But they've
Yeah.
been
a
that right,
specific way.
exactly.
But yes, they've been
So,
there.
Yeah.
do you want me to hold pendulum and you want to ask some questions then? Clarify anything, girls?
Yeah. Go ahead and ask something, Lynn.
What do you want? Did this firefly go into outer space? No. Did it
Ask,
land
did it land
was
somewhere where they
did it
wanted to?
land in a desert somewhere? No. Did it land in the water somewhere? Did the firefly actually send something off into the sky? Did it go into outer space? No. Did it go to Antarctica?
Hmm.
That's interesting.
They go to Antarctica. Did it go to Antarctica?
Another
I
thing that came to my mind, they said this was 6 feet. Is that correct? If I read it correctly, it was quite small.
Yeah.
mhm.
So, well, it wasn't manned, right? It was unmanned?
It was unmanned. It was
Yeah.
quite small. I mean, you would have to have really great technology for that to get up there where they're saying it went, right?
Yeah,
Without
and
getting destroyed or
how much does it weigh? I asked if it went to Antarctica. I get a 10 and I get a 5. So tens are endings, and it's very difficult, fatiguing situation. A 5. So maybe it got there. Maybe it got there, but it was hard for them to get it there. But then once it got there, there was something that didn't work out for them
It's
on
agreeing with you.
Antarctica.
Yeah, it's agreeing
Yeah.
with you.
So it's like it was so hard to get there, but something just didn't quite work out right.
Did it crash and destroy in Antarctica? There you go.
Ask if any people were in Antarctica to see it crash and land.
Were there people in Antarctica waiting for it to happen? Yep.
Hmm. So it did get to Antarctica. Hmm. Did man go to the moon back in the day as they portrayed astronauts going to the moon?
Back in
No,
1969 when they said the
that's nice.
people
Yeah.
landed on, did Neil Armstrong and crew land on the moon in 1969?
Yeah. Let's ask, has Neil Armstrong ever set foot on what we know as the moon? No. Did Buzz Aldrin ever set foot on what we know as the moon? No.
Did any of the astronauts on any of the so-called moon landings or Apollo landings ever actually go up into outer space?
No. That's a no?
Nope.
Wow. Let me ask, is there something that exists that's really called the Van Allen belt that we know of?
Yeah.
So the Van Allen belt, does the Van Allen belt really exist? No, so there's no radiation. Is there any radiation around the earth that would hurt man trying to get away from earth? So it
No.
looks like there's no, according to your pendulum, there's no radiation around the earth. So it's like this whole Van Allen thing is not real.
Yeah.
Ah,
Kaila, did you want to ask anything?
I think you guys covered it. I think we have to sit with this. There's so much more we can ask, but we
yeah,
can
that's
sit with
true.
it and do a next show.
Yeah, we'll do
What
another
was that?
part two.
What was the song? If you believe they put a man on the moon. Man on
Man of the moon,
the
if you believe. Yeah, that was the group from the 90s. Who was that? Um,
I forget.
that group from the 90s, the Smashing Pumpkins,
No, that wasn't Smashing
the
Pumpkins.
the Cranberries.
No, cranberries. Wow. You're just throwing crap out there and hoping something sticks to the wall now, aren't you?
I'm throwing cranberries out there. So wow, right. Is there anything else we want to add to? So basically, to sum everything up, how would you sum it up, Kyla?
REM. It was REM.
REM, yeah.
I would say the cards say we've been duped again.
Yeah. It was like, oops, we've
But
been duped
the
again.
good thing is all three of us watched or saw whatever, and we're like, no. I
I
mean,
think, yeah.
our intuition is getting way better on this. We don't even,
Yeah,
we were like, yeah, no.
it's getting heightened. We're going to next levels. So basically, the very first moon landing in 69 wasn't really, sorry, we didn't, it wasn't, we did something, but it wasn't what they said it was, according to our cards and according to Lynn's pendulum. That's not exactly how it was. Now, y'all, write it in your comments what you think. This second, the firefly that they sent off, it did actually go off and fly somewhere. And according to Lynn's pendulum, it flew to Antarctica. What made you think of Antarctica?
It just came. I
Yeah.
don't know where this stuff is coming from, Barbara. Just,
So we've been to Antarctica, and there was somebody down there that was waiting for it to come. So I guess in another video, we'll see who that was waiting down there that saw it kind of like get there, and then it didn't have a good landing. So
And I guess that's another show, Antarctica. So
yeah,
we'll
for
be back to
sure.
that.
Oh my God, there's so much to go to
Yeah.
Antarctica. Yeah, for sure.
all right. All right, just keep your eyes open and keep asking questions. Keep
Yeah.
asking questions.
Do your
Just
research. Use your intuition. Yeah.
don't
Don't
take
believe
everything for
everything that black box tells you.
yeah,
Mm,
don't
for
believe the
sure.
hype. Just well, there's some hype that we can believe, but check it out and vet it. Make sure it's feel it in your gut.
Yeah.
Your gut feeling that you get when it's like you shouldn't do something, follow that when you go look for
Mhm.
this information. And
Exactly.
so where can they find us?
Yes, you can find us here on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe on Rumble, and we have a Facebook community. All the links are in the description. Please beware of scammers. We will not contact you first. If you need to contact us, our information is below. Right? Thanks so much for watching, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
We'll see you again.